Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Between the Seams with Marty and Mack, brought to you by the Triple Play Fantasy Network. As always, Mack and I will be bringing you the best hitters and pitchers to stream for the upcoming week, which is week 22, September 6th to September 12th. Mack, we only have 3 more shows left, 3 more weeks of the fantasy baseball season. How are we holding up?
We're doing all right. A couple teams are collapsing when they shouldn't be, but I'm glad they're doing it before the playoffs.
There we
So at least one of them is already in the playoffs. I just need everyone to stop being injured. I avoided it for so long. And then right at the end of the season, all my guys have started to go down.
The worst time to
I know.
be bit with the bug. Yeah, I'm currently rostering Lance Lynn, Lucas Giolito, pretty much every other White Sox pitcher that could possibly be hurt. I have DeGrom and Trout on a team. I haven't dropped them yet. I should. It's just like, can I drop Jacob DeGrom and Mike Trout on the same day from the same team? It just
brutal. Yeah,
I don't know what to do.
Feels sad.
And they're just burning a hole in my roster, wasting everyone's time. But I'm going to keep looking at it, praying for an update that will somehow get DeGrom transformed into a professional pitcher in a week and a half, and he'll be good to go. But I don't think it's going to happen, man. I think they're both down. But other than that, it's been a good season so far. It's been actually pretty crazy up and down. Mac, let's review week 21. How do we do with let's start with hitting, as we've already talked about. Our pitching was kind of brutal. So we'll start with hitting.
On a good note, hitting was good all the way around, except for Mr. Nikki Lopez. He was all right. But I had Ian Happ and Nick Solak this week. Both had real good days yesterday. Both had 3 hits yesterday, went 3 for 4. But Ian Happ is 7 for 18 so far in the week. He's got 2 home runs, 2 runs, 3 RBIs, and a stolen base. So he's batting nearly 500 with a couple homers for you. And he doesn't seem to be slowing down. And he's got a game against Pittsburgh today, I think, unless that series is over.
No, yeah, he has Pittsburgh today and tomorrow.
Yeah, so, and Pittsburgh pitching is just there to be beat up on. Poor Steven Bralt got jumped all over yesterday. I watched him. He's got some sick tats, though. Some nice tattoos. I didn't notice. I don't watch a lot of Pirates games, but
I'll keep an eye out for that. Always appreciate a good tattoo.
Yeah. It's like he's got like all these abstract shapes and colors and stuff on his arm. I don't know, sleeved up. But he got tattooed in a different sense by the Cubs. Man, Hermosillo jumped all over him, put a ball out of Wrigley Stadium. I didn't even know Hermosillo had that type of power. But
onto Lakeland Avenue.
Yep. And then Mr. Nick Solak, he's also batting nearly 500, 6 for 14. He's got a home run. He scored a couple runs. He's got 3 RBIs. He was caught stealing, so he tried to get you a stolen base.
How did you know he was caught stealing? Do you see that? Like, does that stat come up somewhere? Or were you watching the game?
I was just looking through his Fangraph stuff. Although I think that I play in 1 points league where a caught stealing might be like negative a point or something, but I don't have him there. Yeah.
Well, as I was talking to you and I screenshotted my team, I picked up Nick Solak and Happ for this week, and I've been riding them. It's been a good week.
Yeah, they've been on fire. I'm kind of wishing I picked up both of them. I have Happ at least one place, I think, but should have picked them both up. But hopefully, most of you ignored Nikki Lopez. I liked him for a steals play, and he hasn't been getting on base. He's 2 for 15. He's walked twice. And he scored 1 run, but he hasn't even attempted a steal. So I don't know. He was running wild, and then he just stopped.
Even
even the 4 times he was on base, the 2 walks and I think 2 singles, he didn't attempt to steal. I wasn't watching any of the Royals games, so I don't really know what the situations were, but no running. So Ian Happ, Nick Solak were good pickups, and Nikki still has time to turn it around today and tomorrow.
Somewhat serviceable. At least one Happ did not let you down. Let's move into my hitters here. We'll go look back on Connor Joe, Brandon Marsh, and Emmanuel Rivera. Connor Joe, so he's locked in for the rest of the season. You gotta roster him.
Except he got hobbled last night.
Whoa. Sneaky.
He pulled up lame running from third base last night. We'll see.
Say it
We'll
ain't
see what
so, Joe.
happens. I know he's day to day right now. They're looking for an update today, I think. But
I'm seeing the blood red DTD. You are right, man. You still do that. You take one night off. You enjoy your evening at a nice soccer game. You wake up the next day and Connor Joe's dead.
And Connor Joe's down. And, I've been watching Braves games, and he's even. I mean, you're about to give his stats, but he's had a couple hard hit balls that didn't fall in either. He had like a 425-foot fly out to dead center 2 nights ago.
Would it dong? Did it? How many of those?
I'm sure it would have donged at least in half the stadium. Adam Duvall caught it right on the yellow line.
Adam Duvall. Well, before he got hurt, let's take a look at his stats. So over 17 plate appearances, he has 5 hits, 3 runs, 1 RBI. He has a 23.5% walk rate this week. So, that OBP is through the roof. He slashed 385, 529, 462. We'll see how he does, if he can bounce back and get back in the lineup for these last 2 games. But so far, good contributor. And if he is healthy, I will be rostering him pretty much, 12 team or deeper. In every league I got him. I'm just going to hold on to him. Number 2 was Brandon Marsh. So Brandon Marsh completely just fell off the cliff. So as he was finally hitting the stride, I was actually watching his at-bats. He was looking good. I was gaining some confidence in him. And then this week, he is 1 for 10 with a run. So it's batting a cool 100. Not really much to dive into there today. Hopefully he has some time to turn it around there. But yeah, 1 for 10 is not what you want to see, but that's why he's 10% rostered. And then Emmanuel Rivera, who's 1% rostered, he's 1% rostered for a reason. He's 0 for 6 with a run and a walk. Well, I actually, what I'm going to do? I'm going to try to see, because I did this yesterday.
Maybe
I'm going to pray. Maybe he did something yesterday, and he didn't play. Okay, so yeah, that's it. That's it. So pretty brutal all around. We'll take the Connor Joe, but he might be hurt. So
it looks
Mac,
like he was
we're running on fumes, dude.
Last night, I know he was diagnosed last night with a right hamstring strain. Apparently,
okay, that's touchy.
Bud Black says it's possible he ends up on the injured list, and it's not definitely a season-ending injury. So very cryptic.
Okay. Very cryptic. All right. Well, let's take let's just rip the Band-Aid off, as they say, Mac. Week 21 pitchers. Let's briefly talk about this. Go through your 3.
Okay. So apparently there weren't very many good streams this week, or we didn't find them. Marty found one, and we'll see if I found the other. But Adrian Hauser. Okay, I thought Adrian Hauser was a good play. In fact, I gave you good reasons for why both Adrian Hauser and J.A. Happ are good plays. Pitching is random, as they say in baseball. Hauser hit an okay start, but he suffered some command problems, and that did not fare him well. He went 5. He gave up 5 hits, but he also gave up 3 walks. And because of those walks and those little dinky hits, he gave up 5 earned runs. I don't think he gave up a single homer. He got BAPIP'd to death, and command was killing him. But he had 4 strikeouts, so at least he gave you that, because 4 strikeouts isn't a lot, but it's more than the 0 strikeouts J.A. has got. Because Happ. Okay, so Happ's a lefty. He went up against Cincinnati. The Reds have a 3.03 WOBA against lefty. I talked to you about how that's the 5th worst in the MLB, and Happ has been relatively successful recently, but today was not that day. He went 1 not today, but whenever he pitched earlier this week. He went 1 innings pitched, 8 hits, 2 walks, 7 earned runs, and no strikeouts before he was pulled. I mean, they really just hung him out there to dry. Just let him get eaten by the big red machine.
Yeah.
I remember the day after his start, I woke up and I was like, "Oh, Happ went last night. Let me just see how he did." And I checked FanGraphs and I was like, "Oh my god."
What was his ERA? You said? Do you have it?
That's 7 earned runs over 1 inning pitched. I didn't have it written down because it was a depressing number.
That's understandable.
It's over 100 there. That's easy over 100.
I'm pulling it up. No, it's a 63.
Oh, 63. Okay, he did get the 1 inning pitch.
He got the one. Yeah, got the 1 inning pitch.
Yeah, he got the full 1 inning.
And that a cool 10.00 whip. 10.
Yep. His FIP was 35.16. But his xFIP was 1980, so not that bad. He cut that FIP in half with his xFIP. So
just before that he had 5 straight really good outings, and then that kind of thing happens, and he has the Dodgers next on the 7th, so that means he's probably not throwing a hitter.
Yeah, leave him. Well, yeah, he probably will. So I got Ranger Suarez still to go against Miami today. I
like that.
Slated to pitch. Yeah, we'll see. Kyle Gibson got jumped all over by Miami last night. I was watching that game in a sports bar, and Jesus Sanchez jumped all over him. So Marlins, maybe they were hitting pretty well the last couple games. Let's hope that Suarez shuts him down, though.
Let's hope because we got to get we got to ride that ship there. We'll take a look at mine, and not much better than Nestor Cortez. So he did his thing last night, so it was good to see. Strong start. He got no decision against the Orioles. He had 7 strikeouts over 5 2/3. He gave up 1 run, so he put you in a really good spot. ERA's down, the WHIP's down. No quality start, no win, but you'll take it. At this point. Number 2 was Kyle Freeland. So, man, I was really excited for Kyle Freeland, and I was excited for this start going against Texas, as we've already talked about, one of the worst hitting teams in baseball. And 1 inning pitch, 1 K, 1 earned run, and he left with a left hip impingement, but he's fine. He'll be making his next start. That's what they said, and I think moving forward, I think Freeland's a really good pickup for next week. But 1 inning, 1 run, pretty brutal, him leaving early. And then I'm not sure. This is number 3, Andrew Heaney. I don't know what. I think when I picked him, I was like, I don't know about this, but I was hoping because he was going against the Angels, he would get that extra boost, the revenge boost, and do well. And he did none of the sort. So he only went 2 innings. He gave up 2 runs. He did have 2 strikeouts, but just like Freeland, he left with a 9.00 ERA. I'm not sure why he left so early. I don't know what happened in those 2. I was looking for it, but I didn't look deep enough. But yeah, only 2 innings pitched. So I don't know if he got hurt, he had a comeback or go to him, maybe tweak something. I don't know. But honestly, he probably did you a favor by only giving up 2 earned runs. So Freeland and Heaney were pretty brutal, but Nestor Cortez held it down for me this week. So I appreciate him and everything that he has done for me. Week 22, Mac, we are firing on all cylinders, man. This is it. We have 3 shows left, a couple more weeks. We're in the midst of, if you're watching this show, that means you are deep in your fantasy playoffs, or you are just about to start them, and you need every type of boost you can get. And that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to get rid of week 21. It was a pretty brutal week across the board, so we'll just wipe our hands clean of that. And Mac, let's start with your week 22 hitters. Who do we got?
All right, so we'll start with the guy we doubled up on. I'll talk about the reasons why I like him this week, and then I'll let you talk about the reasons why you like him. He's 37% rostered, and his name is Mr. Nathaniel Lowe. That's Lowe, not Lau, right? He's the Lowe.
I think so.
Yeah,
it might be Lau.
Brandon throws me off because he's a Lau. So
yeah.
I believe it. I think it's Lowe.
I think it's Lowe.
So over his last 2 weeks, Lowe is hitting pretty darn well. He has 12 games over his last 2 weeks. He's got 2 home runs. He's batting .391. He's got a .435 WOBA. So I like him because he's been hitting well. The other thing is you'll notice the guys he's playing. He gets games at Angels, Arizona, Oakland. And why that's important is I think that most of those pitchers, they don't have those pitching staffs don't have a ton of firepower as far as overwhelming fastballs go, especially Oakland. Manea might be the only one. I don't know if he's slated to get Manea, but a lot of those guys are more control artists. And Nate Lowe likes to hit off those guys. It's interesting if you look at his WOBA versus fastballs. if it's like above 92, 93 miles per hour, he doesn't catch up to speed very well. But anything below that, he hits really well. A friend of mine from Pitcher List picked up on that early in the season. I don't know if he's righted that recently. I haven't looked at those numbers recently, but I always like to see what his matchups are to see if he's getting any soft tosser control artists up there, because he likes to hit those guys.
Wow. Yep. Yeah, and for me, when I was looking at him, just looking at his last 15 games, I mean, or last 30 games, if you want to go that deep. But yeah, he's been pretty much just on fire. We'll just look at his last 15 games. He's slashing 339, 367, 536. He's got you 2 home runs, 7 RBIs. A little high on the Ks, but that's to be expected. But yeah, just a solid play all around. I think he's sitting right in the middle of that lineup. So I really like the play for this week.
Yeah, big fan. Man, I'll tell you who would have been a good pickup was Tyler Naquin, if anyone picked him up over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I played him in a head-to-head. I think we talked about this last week, and 2 weeks ago, it was where he had like 3 or 4 home runs in that small amount of time.
Yep.
So,
yep.
that was when I was like a Quino. Oh yeah, pick him up. No, should have been Naquin.
Okay, so my other 2 guys are guys I have talked about before on the show. I think it's time to go back to the well on them. And every time I go back to the well on these guys, the well dries up. So take that as it is. But first, we'll talk about Josh Harrison. Josh Harrison for Oakland, over his last 13 games, he's batting .333. He's got a homer. He's even got 2 stolen bases. He's got a .361 WOBA. And he gets, I believe, 6 games this week. He'll see the White Sox and he'll see the Rangers. The Rangers pitching staff is obviously not fantastic, and the White Sox pitching staff is very depleted, as we talked about. Lynn and Giolito are both on the IL, and I can't imagine the White Sox are going to rush to get them back and before the playoffs. So
yeah, and Josh Harrison, I mean, at the end of the year, he could be in pretty amazing company. He could be batting .300 with 10 home runs and 10 steals, which I think would put him like in a very, you wouldn't think that. But yeah, he's been sneaky pretty good.
Yeah, and he's been pretty good since he's gone to Oakland. I mean, he's been pretty good all year, off and on, but he's had some streaks. But since he's gone to Oakland, he's actually been pretty great. So
the Tigers had him briefly last year, and I was like, hey, Josh Harrison, you're on the Pirates. And then that was it. And then I don't know whatever happened to him. So I'm glad he's back.
Finds a new team every year. I don't know what it is. And the other guy is Jaime Candelario, who I love. I love Jaime. He is
the candy man.
The candy man. Yeah, he's got, over his last 13 games, he's batting .296 as a .321 OBP, a .537 slugging percentage. He's got a couple home runs. He just does what he does. He gets on base. Last night he went 4 for 5 with 4 runs. Pretty insane night. The Tigers beat up on, who were they playing? It was like I know Grossman hit a homer last night. Our boy Grossman. I can't remember who it was.
They're at Cincinnati, so they won 15-5.
Yeah, I knew that.
Small Park.
They blew up on him. So I like Candelario just in general. I think he's a good rest of season pickup. I always think that he is.
Very solid.
If you need any help, I mean, he's always for whatever reason, he doesn't get enough lift on the ball to get the ball out consistently. He hits a lot of line drives, a lot of grounders, but he's like a consistent 280, 285 hitter. Yeah. Which is great, especially at the hot corner. He's got some positional eligibility. All 3 of these guys have some positional flexibility. I believe Nate Lowe is first base and outfield. Yep. Off the top of my head, Josh Harrison is second base, third base, and outfield, and Candelario is first and third. So they'll give you some options.
Yeah, and Candelario, he is like one of the. I mean, there's nothing sexy about him. He's just kind of a blah player, but at this point, you can just put him into your, put him in your lineup. He's going to bat 4th or 5th every single day for the Tigers. They love him. He's going to be there every day. I think that's a really good pick.
Hey, who you got?
All right, let's take a look here. Let's take a look at my 3 hitters. So they're not as deep as I usually go, but that's just because of where we're at in the season. So we're going to start with number 1, Kyle Farmer. So about his eligibility across the board for Cincinnati. He can pretty much play everywhere. I like his matchups: 3 at the Cubs, 3 at the Cardinals. Over the last couple of weeks, he hasn't been doing that well. Over his last 7 games, he's only batting .200, but this is the week he's going to ride the ship. I love all the hitters matchups, or all of his pitching matchups. I think he's going to do well there. Number 2, let's see, Austin Hayes. So this is a guy who earlier in the season, I had him one time as a sleeper kind of, and
there were a lot of pundits in on him.
Yeah, there was this little bit of a wave, an uptick for him. On the season, he's batting .247. He has 14 home runs, 49 RBIs, and 3 steals. So nothing too crazy. But over the last few weeks, he's been hitting the ball, making great contact. He's right in the middle of the Orioles lineup. They're letting him play more and more. Over those 15 games, he's slashing .294, .321, .471. He's got a homer, 6 RBIs, a couple walks, and a stolen base. So I really like that there for Baltimore. I think they're at home all week. So 4 versus Kansas City, and then 3 versus Kansas City, and then 4 versus Toronto. So really like anytime you're going to be in Camden Yards for a full week, I guarantee he hits a home run, Mac. I'm saying it now. Austin Hayes will have 1 home run. He might bat 100, but he'll have you a home run. And number 3 is who I think we'll take a shot here and say this will probably be our cover guy for the week. Nate Lowe, first baseman at their outfield, Texas. We already went over what he's been doing. So I really like those 3. So it's Kyle Farmer, Austin Hayes, and Mr. Nathaniel Lowe. Pitching, Mac, week 22. I feel like this is going to be the week where we turn it around. We get back. For a while there, we were on a really good streak with our pitching.
We were.
I was feeling good about it. I was telling my family about it, friends, people I don't even know. But now, it's we're kind of in the throes of hell. So let's turn around. And let's get back on pace. Who do we got this week?
All right, so we got Josiah Gray first up for my guys. Josiah Gray has been had an up and down start to his career so far. His ERA is up over 4. You look at his numbers; they're not great. He's 35% rostered. He's 0-2. He doesn't have a win yet. But I like this as his chance to really show his stuff. If you've watched his games, you know that it's not for a lack of stuff that he is not succeeding. He's got 89th percentile whiff percentage, 98th percentile chase rate. It's just that he makes a few mistakes in the zone. He's 3rd percentile in barrel percentage per BBE over the few innings that he has thrown over the small sample size. The barrel percentage per batted ball is a little over 11%, which is not great, not what you like to see. But Pittsburgh does not make a lot of hard contact, and they do not strike out, or they do strike out quite a bit. Yeah. So I like this as a matchup for Gray to get his first win, be able to flash his curveball, and get a bunch of strikeouts.
And everyone's down on him. I think there was that wave when he went back on the Washington. He was on Washington. He had that one good outing. Everyone picked him up. He was everyone's apple of the eye for a little bit. And then after this last outing, which was pretty hard, I think he's going to be on your waiver wire. So I like it.
Yep.
Oh, and he pitches tomorrow too.
Yeah.
So we'll keep an eye on against the Mets.
How that goes.
So we'll see.
At 10:05 a.m. on the world. Okay, and that's so early for baseball.
That's 7 a.m. here. Not that it matters, but that's crazy.
Yeah, you could be watching baseball at 7 in the morning. All right, my second guy is Bailey Ober, so another young guy. He's pitched a little bit more than Gray. He's got a little over 70 innings on the year, or maybe And just making sure
I like that you put perfectly serviceable.
That was
well said.
Thank you. That's about how he feels. He's not been fantastic, but he's been better over his last little bit. He had a rough couple first starts that ballooned his ERA a little beyond what it should be. He lines up with some potentially favorable starts. He's slated to go against Cleveland, and then there's a to-be-dated starter against Kansas City, at least if you're looking at some probable pitchers websites. But he does line up 5 days later or 5 starts later against Kansas City. We'll see if they stick with the 5-man rotation or switch it around. But he potentially has 2 starts against Cleveland and Kansas City this week, at least one against Cleveland. In his last 10 starts, he's 2-1. He's got a 3.06 ERA and a 9.18 K9. They've been stretching him out a little bit. He doesn't usually go more than 5 or 6. I think 5 has been his average, but he has a very Jake Odorizzi like approach to the game. A lot of high fastballs up, sliders down, sort of thing. Limits hard contact. So I like Ober as a play against some not great offenses. And then finally, my guy who's been a mainstay in my 20-team dynasty. I picked him up on the waiver at the beginning of the year, and every time I doubted him, he's just thrown it in my face, and that is Chris Flexon. Chris Flexon is top 25 in quality starts this year. That might surprise some people.
Man. Yeah.
But
you're looking at somebody who it's surprised. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's got 13 quality starts on the year. Of course, that doesn't come close to Walker Buehler, who's got 24. But Walker Buehler is heads above everyone else. And if you're looking at the guys who surround him, it's some pretty impressive guys.
Which is so funny because the whole thing of the whole fantasy baseball industry was down on Buehler because of his innings. He's not going to be able to. We don't know how deep he's going to go. All of that. It's just like at the end of the day, even the best. We're talking like the best, the ones who do this for a living, who day in day out are who have sources and all that. At the end of the day, they don't know what they're talking about. Like it's
so
crazy.
Don't listen to us. So we don't know. Yeah, but I mean, if you're looking, Chris Flexon is surrounded by Anthony DeSclafani, Joe Musgrove, Lance Lynn, Manea. Giolito's only got 14 quality starts. Marcus Stroman's got 14. Good company right there. I like Flexon a lot. He's slated to go against Arizona. I think he's a good bet to get you another one against a not great Arizona offense. Strikeouts aren't frequently there. You're lucky to get 6 a game, but he's been solid. I mean, he's a good bet to get you solid innings.
And what I'm going to do, I'm actually doing this right now. I'm going to see if this is just a 10-team league. Flexon is rostered in our 10-team league. So some people are paying attention. Not everybody. Get on it, guys. Come on.
Yeah, he's 55%.
I was literally just about to pick him up after you said that. That's what I was doing. I was like,
he's 55% rostered. So some people have been paying attention. But he is available in 3 of my 12-team leagues.
Wow.
So
there you go. All right, cool. And what were the 3 again?
All right, Josiah Gray, Bailey Ober, and Chris Flexon.
All right, let's hope for a bounce back week from you, Mac, and we'll take a look at my 3, and I'm hoping the same. So we're going to start with Jackson Koar. So he's been pretty good since he came back up from the minors. So last out, he's a 2% rostered. So and when you take a look at his ERA, it's going to say 8.18, and his WHIP is 2.09. So it's okay. Just don't worry about that. What I want you to focus on is September 1st against the Cleveland Indians. He went 6 innings. He had 6 Ks. He gave up no runs. He got the quality start, and he's only 24 years old. And I really liked what I saw from that matchup. And most importantly, I like who he's playing this week. He's going against Baltimore, so we don't need to tell you how bad they are. It's fun just to when I'm scrolling through the teams, I'll look at their their records, and Baltimore's record is I already forgot what it was, but it's really funny.
It's really bad.
Yeah, it's really bad. So yeah, going against Baltimore, it's an easy play. I'm trying to stream anyone against them every time I go out. Every day I look and say, okay, who's Baltimore playing? Are they available? Is it worth it? I think this time it will be. So I like Koar for that start. Jesus Lozardo. So I've even put the note in here. Check how he did last night. So do we know how he did last night?
I looked it up for you. He went 5 2/3. He had 5 hits, gave up 3 runs, gave up a homer, which was, I think, the blemish. He had 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. So not the strikeout numbers you're looking for, but not a horrible start. And he could afford it because Miami ended up winning 10-3. Kyle Gibson blew up much faster than
that's what it was.
Did. So
okay, so
he didn't end up getting the win, but it got the no decision because Miami ended up scoring a lot after he left. 7 more runs, I believe.
Isn't that the best though? When you have your starting pitcher, he goes 7 strong innings. But he leaves the game 1-1, and then they win 9-1 or something. You're like, are you serious?
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
So why I put that there for Jesus Lozardo is I just wanted to make sure he didn't have a blow up, and that's kind of where we're at because he's had a roller coaster of a time here. But all of the talent is there, the upside is there. He's only 38% rostered, and he's going against he has the Mets next time out. So I really like that. I really like that matchup. And in Dynasty, I think him going to the Marlins was probably the best thing that could have happened to him. To get out of the A's organization and their inability to really develop anyone of pitching stature since Barry Zito. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nice to have. I'm Lozardo's. He's fun to watch. So I'm excited.
He gave up the homer to Freddie Galvis. That was who it was.
Freddie Galvis. Of course it was. Jeez. So I like him for that play there. And then number 3, Steven Matz. So this is literally one of those times, Mac, I was just telling you about where I go who's playing Baltimore.
Yep.
Just look for whoever it is. Steven Matz, baby. 55% rostered for the Toronto Blue Jays. It's Steven Matz. You know who he is. He's okay. He's not that good. But the Baltimore Orioles are even worse. So I really like that matchup. I think he's going to get you the win there. So that's Jackson Koar, Jesus Lozardo, and Steven Matz to round out my 3 and to round out week 22. Mac, it's been a pleasure doing this show here. We have 3 more after this, or 2 more after this. And that's going to do it. So
I'll do it.
Well, hey, we'll get you going back for your Saturday morning. Thank you guys as always. You can always find us here at the Triple Play Fantasy Network. Again, this is Marty. You can find me on Twitter at Marty_Tallman. Mac, who are you and what do you do?
I'm Mac, and you can find me at J Christian Mac. I do this. I do a little bit of that too. So
there we go.
Just talking baseball, doing my thing. I am excited because I'm leaving here right now to go to class for data analytics. Okay. I'm learning some things that I think are going to really make me dive back into the baseball world because I'm learning SQL and all these different querying language. I'm about to dive into some Python, and I think it's going to make baseball analysis so much easier because I don't have to download CSVs from Fangraphs and I'll be able to learn how to scrape the data and stuff. So maybe one of these days you'll see me one of these days here once I actually stop being in school, which makes
right.
Once I'm done with that stuff, maybe you guys will see me doing some more exciting stuff.
Well, and I'm seeing a really big uptick of that people who have data analytics degrees or computer degrees in their Twitter bio, but they also write for Prospects Live, and they do and I can just as a very not math person in the furthest extent, I can only imagine how good I would be if I had that brain and that ability. Phil Dussault, who's currently winning the NFBC main event.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, he's 4th in the overall. He's winning the main event and the auction. It's crazy.
He has his own Excel spreadsheet that he no one knows what's he has his own formulas. He does his own thing. And
he's a robot.
Yeah, it's just and he talks about his process and how that's what that's part of it. Him developing this Excel spreadsheet. He didn't really know baseball that well. He's just it's just all numbers to him. It's God damn it. I'm looking at that guy's tattoos. what am I doing?
My tattoos are cool.
Alex Manoah is big, and I like it. But no, but it's just I think that's going to definitely help you, and I look forward to your next step in your articles, man.
Thank you.
But all right, guys. Well, hey, we're going to get going here. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the rest of week 21. Hopefully, Ranger Suarez can kind of turn around for us. And have a good one. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.